Hello, everyone. I am ZHAO Chuang. Today, we draw the skull of Spinops. Spinops was a ceratopsian dinosaur, and its skull had a complex shape. The entire skull looked like a chair. The rear of its head possessed a pretty long horn-like structure, so it would be easy to draw this structure outside of the paper when composing. Therefore, when drawing, we should first pay attention to drafting. The composition should be determined at the beginning, and then go into details slowly. Now, let's draw the skull of Spinops. Before drawing, let's set a few points on the paper. In the center of the picture, we use a somewhat fine line to locate its eye socket. Then slightly show it. In front of the eyes, here is where the mouth is. We draw a small brow horn above the eye. Its eye sockets were bumped, and its nose was relatively flat and extended forward. In front of the nose was a nasal horn tilted backward. Here is situated its nostril. Down from the nose was its mouth, which was similar to the shape of a parrot's beak. The head of Spinops looked rounder, taller, and thicker than that of Triceratops. Its mouth is roughly here, with curved, triangular jugal bones above it. Behind the jugal bone was its lateral temporal fenestra. The lateral temporal fenestra of ceratopsians had degenerated and became quite small. Its nostrils were huge. There was a bone inside the nostril. We can black the upper part of the bone to show its shadow, and make it seem to be inside. Next, let's draw its head frill. We first use a somewhat light line to set a point, and then draw a line obliquely downward like this. On the top of the head frill were a pair of curved horns, and its iconic long horns. We draw one for each type first. Then, we draw small spikes along the margin of its crooked head frill. This part is the parietal bone, and the lower part is the squamosal bone, shaped like a small ear. Its head frill is composed of two parts. We can draw these two parts more clearly. There were two huge openings on the head frill. We can see one on this side. The boundary between the parietal bones can be shown like this. These small spikes had traces like this on their roots, representing the keratinous spike and the skin next to it. Then, we draw the other long horn, and the other downward curved horn. Next, we come to draw its lower jaw. The articulation at the base of the mandible was connected below the jugal bone. Its lower jaw bone was relatively narrow, and here was a large depression to accommodate the muscles. Then, we show its tiny teeth. There were some holes here. We draw a little shadow below the horn to show the relationship between light and shade. Also, draw a little shadow under the eye socket. The strokes here should be drawn less and lighter. Then, we draw the jugal horn's boundary line, and a little shadow on the lower jaw. Next, we draw the boundary line between the keratinous beak and the bone. A little shadow can be drawn on the right side of the nasal horn. On its keratinous beak, we can draw some relatively rough marks, and shade the underside of the jugal bone. The side of the head frill can be shaded a little bit to give it a thickness. Also, we do the same in the eye socket to show its thickness. In this way, we've finished drawing the skull of Spinops.